In the belly of the beast. I'm sitting here with the CEO of PragerU, which we all know if you watched, CNN or, you saw anything from Vox, they are the new PBS. Which I think because Marissa Streit is the CEO, she's up here at my ranch because we're filming some stuff for PragerU Kids, right? And does that make me Elmo or
I think you're more of a big bird.
Big bird. Okay, good. All of a sudden, it doesn't feel so great. So they're claiming that you are becoming the new PBS because you're going after our kids. Can you just, first of all, do you get any money from the federal government?
We won't take a dollar from the government. That's in our mission.
Well, Stu, help me out. Doesn't that automatically disqualify you from being PBS?
It does. I would say it does. Yes.
I mean, I think the big thing about PBS is they're taking our federal dollars and using it in ways that I don't necessarily agree with, and they can make money on their own. So I think the press misses what the problem is with PBS. So tell me about what you are doing right now, because there's several things. First of all, let's start with the 250th anniversary. What are you doing on the 250th anniversary?
So PragerU uses edutainment, and so in some ways they're comparing us to PBS because of that, because we believe that learning should be fun and it should be entertaining,
right? And
that oftentimes when you're entertained, you can learn. And so in that way, we are somewhat similar to PBS.
Right.
But what we are doing is we're celebrating America. America has never been perfect, but it's the greatest country on God's green earth.
Right.
And when we are teaching kids to grow up and not love their country, it is causing so many problems. It's a national security issue. It's a mental health issue for our children.
Big time.
And so we are taking this opportunity for America's 250th birthday to just reignite patriotism and give some perspective that, yes, America has its blemishes. Of course it does. But America is a great country and has been a leader in greatness for so many years. And we want to teach that. And so what we are doing is we're creating content for every single learner, 4 years old, all the way through 104, to remember what our country is about, what our DNA is.
And the nice thing is that it's actual history. I mean, we cut something yesterday. We're working on several of these videos that are going to be used in AP classes, right? So this is AP history in high schools.
Yes. I mean, look, so many Americans are learning history through the lens of Howard Zinn. For those who don't know who Howard Zinn is, I think he categorically destroyed the history classes in America, right? Teaching a perspective. Not all of it was a lie, but it's the footnotes. It's without the greater perspective of what America is. And so we are taking American history and we're making it fun and engaging. And so that students who would watch this course that we're creating together will not only learn the truth about America, but will have a perspective and enjoy doing it at the same time. That's the edutainment piece of it.
And it's really amazing because we're not avoiding the bad stuff. We're doing something today on slavery.
Yes.
And, I saw somewhere I read, they were accusing you guys of PragerU is dismissing slavery and saying it's no big deal. And I'm like, on what planet, in what parallel universe is PragerU saying that?
Well, what they're saying is we made a video that teaches about Christopher Columbus. And we basically paraphrased what he would have said to two young kids. And from Christopher Columbus's perspective, he probably thought that slavery was okay because that's what he did. And so because we had the cartoon, Christopher Columbus, say, oh, I think slavery is okay.
Right.
And then the kids responded back to him in this show that we made, well, actually, slavery is abhorrent. It is a horrible thing.
Right.
We know today that it was a terrible thing that the world engaged in slavery. And then Christopher Columbus in this cartoon responds and says, "Oh wow, I didn't have that perspective. I didn't know." That is why we are being attacked, because we are paraphrasing what Christopher Columbus would have said. And so, what does the silly media do? I mean, it's completely cuckoo. They're claiming that PragerU is claiming that slavery was okay because the character in our cartoon, that character Christopher Columbus, said it was okay.
You know, it's amazing. I think this stuff is coming undone quickly, and they're panicking. I mean, look what you're doing with teachers. Okay, these teachers are moving from, deeply blue states into red states, and the states rightfully, are saying, we don't want any of that California crap in our schools. But if they're licensed to be a teacher, they can teach anywhere. But that's now changing because states are saying, no, you're coming from California, you're coming from New York. I want to make sure that you know the things that, are true, and we're not having any of this woke crap. This test that you're giving now, and you've been asked by the states to develop this test, and it is so, to me, first grade kind of questions. I can't believe there is a problem with this at all.
I mean, we're living in shocking times, Glenn. It's shocking. People can see the test. We've made this test available. They can go to our website. They can check it out. The test is so very basic. The fact that the media and the administrators of woke schools are squealing over this test is unbelievable. It is so very, very basic. But you're right. In California, teachers are required to take a course called the PRISM test. I like to call it the prison test because, frankly, I think teachers should go to prison.
If you can't pass this?
Yes, it's crazy. The PRISM test is given to Californian teachers. It's not a test; it's a course. It's a 6-part course that teaches a teacher how to not differentiate between a boy and a girl, how to actually bring all of this sexualization that we've been complaining about in classrooms. And so it's not just superintendents of education that have approached us with questions. How do we help teachers do the right thing? It's also parents. Parents are coming to us and saying, well, we don't know if we can trust these teachers anymore. We're going to send our kids to our schools and have a teacher that can't pass a basic civics test, that can't pass a basic literacy test, that can't pass a basic understanding of what a boy is and what a girl is. So Superintendent of Education Ryan Walters of Oklahoma approached us and said, can you just do something very basic, because the complaints are coming in when parents are sending their kids to schools where teachers who have come in from California and New York are in charge of a classroom and are bringing in the woke indoctrination that they've received in California.
Any idea how many teachers are failing this test?
Well, we are launching this test now.
Okay.
So this is a brand new test, but I can tell you how many teachers have been forced to pass the PRISM test in California, almost every single one of them.
So listen to some of these questions. Stu, this is multiple choice. This is not a setup. This is multiple choice. So, you'll get everyone. This is the first question. What's the primary biological distinction between males and females? A, height and weight. B, hairstyle. C, personal preference. D, chromosomes and reproductive anatomy.
That's a tough one.
That's a tough one.
Leaning hairstyle. But I'll go D.
At birth, how is a person's biological sex typically identified? A, personal feelings. B, parental choice. C, online registration. D, visual anatomical observation and chromosomes.
That's a fascinating one. I mean, obviously the answer is D, but I would say a lot of people on the left would say B, right? Like it's parental preference or something.
Yeah, right. Or personal feelings. I mean, this only gets hard if you are completely disconnected from science and reality.
Well, you mentioned science and reality. I have spoken to pediatricians and doctors, frankly, from all over the country, who are forced to erase the question of whether they have a boy or a girl in the medical charts when they're receiving a new patient. So this is not just a problem in schools, but this is a problem in pediatric offices as well. So yes, sadly, we are living in the twilight zone where teachers have to be taught very basic common sense.
Listen to this. Name one reason the colonists fought the British. A, avoid working the land. B, higher social standing. C, resist forced army service. D, protest high British taxes without representation. I mean, honestly, fifth graders, in my day, fifth graders would be able to take this. 100 years ago, first graders would be insulted by these. Who was the first president? John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, Greg Washington, or George Washington? I'm pretty sure it was Greg. What did the Emancipation Proclamation do? Ended prohibition, freed Confederate generals, freed the slaves in the North, freed the slaves in the South. Honestly, you cannot be a teacher if you don't know these things.
We agree. And as much as we're giggling about it, and it sounds funny, but it's really not funny, Glenn. It's really sad and it's really upsetting. Part of what this test is doing is it's actually recalibrating what is happening in the classrooms. It's reminding teachers to focus on what matters. It's reminding teachers to actually look at the world through common sense, a lens of common sense. And sadly, the teacher indoctrination centers, which is basically the teacher seminaries, the colleges for teachers, have been turning the world upside down, and they're training these young teachers to go into our classrooms, and you're lucky if they know nothing. The problem is the Marxism that they're being taught.
I know. Talk to me a little bit about Hungary, because you just got back from Hungary, didn't you? Weren't you there last week?
Yes, we were in Hungary last week.
What is happening in Hungary?
So what is happening now is the world is realizing that there's a real attack on common sense everywhere, and there's an attack on values. And PragerU, through our edutainment model, has been successful here in the United States. I mean, as you could see, CNN, New York Times, they're all upset that we're becoming the new PBS, as they call us. And we don't want to just create a system that helps America. We want to create an industry that helps the world. We want the world to be a better place, Glenn. And so when other countries approach PragerU and say, hey, how do we do edutainment in our own country? Our answer is yes. And so we have created now a training system for other countries so that they can bring these wholesome, patriotic values to their own countries. So we flew to Hungary to train them. We've been training some folks in the UK. Canadians have come out to PragerU. We've done the same training for them. For a very long time, I hate to say this, over the last 10 years, America has been exporting some real bad ideas.
USAID.
USAID has been a huge problem. It's been propagating a lot of this gender blur stuff.
Yeah. And to countries that were dead set against it, but were starving. You can't get the aid unless you teach this.
Exactly.
And they did because they had to.
We've been bribing other countries to do the wrong thing.
It's awful.
To sexualize their children. And so we feel that as an organization that is helping save America, we are trying to undo that damage as well. And if we can train other countries to undo the damage, then that's what we're there for.
So do you base that on their stuff, or do you base that on like the American understanding of freedom?
So we have a set of values at PragerU, which is what we call the American DNA, our understanding of freedom.
Right.
We are not looking to export American ideas to other countries. What we are looking to do is teach them the model of how edutainment works, and to teach them a model of how PragerU follows its values. Now, many of them, and we do make sure that the folks that we're working with do honor and respect our values. We're not going to train a bunch of Marxists in doing so. And many of them are using some of our videos as a baseline for teaching.
Well, you're doing God's work, and I am so proud to partner with you and to call you friend, and Dennis the same. Can you give me a quick update? I've only got a couple of seconds. Quick update on Dennis. How is he doing?
So Dennis had a very severe injury. For those who don't know the background, he fell down. He hit his spinal cord. The spinal cord injury is at the top of his spine, and so it makes it very, very difficult for him to breathe, and that's why the recovery is taking so long. It's been already 9 months that he's been laying down. His mind is there. His body is not there, but the good news is he just completed another book.
It's amazing.
So Dennis is living his values.
Yeah. Well, we pray for them all the time. Thank you so much. By the way, if you want to give to PragerU, Mercury One has given to PragerU. Tanya and I donate to PragerU. I mean, I believe these guys really are saving the republic. It's one of the most important movements. This month, they are doing a matching dollar for dollar. So you give $1, somebody else will give $1 to match it. So you double the effect. Please give to PragerU. Go to PragerU.com, PragerU.com. Thank you.
Better you than the government. We don't take $1.
Yeah, good.